Breaking news. Randy Orton saves Cody Rhodes. Rampage against the Vision including Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. SmackDown highlights Randy Orton just made the most heroic return in WWE history. The Viper's shocking appearance to save Cody Rhodes from a brutal assault by the Vision wasn't just another surprise comeback, it was the formation of the most dangerous alliance that's going to destroy Seth Rollins' faction and reshape the entire WWE landscape. When you see the level of carnage that Randy unleashed on Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and the entire Vision faction, and hear what this means for SmackDown's future, you're going to be absolutely stunned at how one moment changed everything. The sight of Cody Rhodes being systematically beaten down by the Vision's numbers advantage had the entire WWE universe in despair until Randy Orton's music hit and the Apex Predator slithered down that ramp with vengeance in his eyes. The crowd's reaction was absolutely nuclear because nobody expected Randy to involve himself in this war, but his appearance proved that some bonds of friendship run deeper than faction politics or personal ambitions. What makes this save so much more impactful than typical WWE run-ins is how Randy didn't just chase off the Vision, he went on an absolute rampage that left multiple members of Seth's faction broken, battered, and questioning whether their numerical advantage means anything when facing a legend who's forgotten more about violence than they'll ever learn. This wasn't just a save, it was a statement that the Vision's reign of terror just hit an immovable obstacle. But here's what's going to make your blood boil with excitement: Randy's intervention wasn't spontaneous or emotional. According to backstage sources who are risking their jobs to reveal this information, Randy had been watching the Vision's attacks on Cody for weeks and had been planning the perfect moment to strike when his appearance would have maximum psychological and physical impact. The tactical genius behind the Viper's timing proves he's still the most dangerous mind in professional wrestling. The assault that the Vision was carrying out on Cody before Randy's appearance was absolutely brutal and designed to injure WWE's top champion so severely that he'd be forced to forfeit his title without ever losing it in a match. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were delivering devastating power moves while other Vision members held Cody in position, creating a systematic destruction that had fans genuinely concerned for the champion's well-being and career longevity. "You think you can destroy my friend while I'm still breathing?" Randy's words as he entered the ring weren't loud or dramatic, they were delivered with the cold certainty of someone making a promise about violence that was about to be delivered with surgical precision. The calm in his voice made the threat even more terrifying because everyone knows that Randy Orton at his most dangerous is Randy Orton at his most controlled. The first RKO to Braun Breaker came out of absolutely nowhere and was so perfectly executed that the entire arena gasped in unison at the speed and precision. But Randy wasn't satisfied with one signature move, he went into full Viper mode, delivering RKOs to multiple Vision members with such rapid succession that the faction couldn't mount any coordinated defense. The systematic elimination of threats was a masterclass in how to turn numbers disadvantage into strategic advantage. But the most devastating moment came when Randy targeted Bronson Reed with a level of focused violence that proved size and power mean nothing against experience and killer instinct. The exchanges between them were absolutely brutal, with Randy using his superior ring psychology to counter Reed's strength advantage and ultimately delivering a devastating RKO onto a steel chair that left the big man unconscious and requiring immediate medical attention. What makes Randy's rampage even more shocking is how he specifically targeted the Vision's enforcers Breaker and Reed rather than going after Seth Rollins directly. The strategic thinking behind attacking the faction's muscle first demonstrates Randy's understanding that cutting off the head doesn't work if the body can still function. By destroying their physical advantages, Randy exposed the Vision's weakness and proved that Seth's leadership means nothing without the protection his enforcers provide. The crowd's reaction throughout Randy's assault was absolutely electric, with fans on their feet screaming their appreciation for seeing one of WWE's all-time greats remind everyone why his legend status isn't just about past accomplishments but about current ability to dominate any situation through superior skill and strategic thinking. The organic enthusiasm proved that Randy's star power remains as strong as ever. But here's where this situation becomes absolutely insane. As Randy was clearing the ring of Vision members, Cody Rhodes recovered enough to stand beside his savior, and the visual of these two legends standing together in the center of the ring while the Vision retreated was one of the most powerful images in recent SmackDown history. The alliance between the American Nightmare and the Apex Predator creates a partnership that threatens to completely reshape WWE's power structure. The backstage implications of Randy's intervention are absolutely massive because it proves that the Vision's intimidation tactics and numerical advantages mean nothing when facing wrestlers with the experience, skill, and legendary status to overcome any obstacle. Seth Rollins' entire strategy has been built on overwhelming opponents through coordinated attacks, but Randy's appearance has exposed that strategy's fundamental weakness: it only works against isolated targets. Industry veterans are calling this one of the most impactful saves in wrestling history because it combined genuine surprise, emotional satisfaction, and immediate storyline consequences in ways that created an instantly memorable moment. Randy's decision to involve himself in this war elevates the entire conflict and provides storytelling opportunities that can sustain compelling television for months. The medical attention that both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed required after Randy's assault was extensive and visible, with trainers checking for concussions and injuries from the devastating RKOs and subsequent violence. The real physical consequences of Randy's rampage made this feel less like typical wrestling entertainment and more like legitimate payback for legitimate crimes against his friend. Seth Rollins' reaction to Randy's intervention has reportedly been intense, with the Visionary realizing that his faction now faces a threat they weren't prepared to handle. Randy's legendary status, combined with his alliance with Cody Rhodes, creates a dynamic that threatens everything Seth has built and forces him to reconsider his entire approach to achieving dominance. The financial implications for WWE are staggering because Randy's return to active competition and alignment with Cody instantly creates must-see television and pay-per-view worthy matches that can generate massive revenue. The star power of these two working together provides marketing opportunities that extend far beyond typical wrestling storylines into mainstream entertainment coverage. Other wrestlers on the roster are reportedly taking notice of this development as a potential game-changer that could affect everyone's position within WWE's hierarchy. The alliance between two of the company's biggest stars creates a power structure that threatens existing factions and forces everyone to reconsider their own alliances and strategies. Social media reaction has been overwhelmingly positive for Randy's save and subsequent rampage, with fans expressing genuine excitement about seeing the Viper back in action and appreciation for the organic chemistry between him and Cody. The enthusiastic response demonstrates that their partnership resonates with audiences in ways that feel authentic rather than manufactured. The long-term booking possibilities created by this alliance are virtually unlimited, providing opportunities for tag team matches, individual feuds with Vision members, and ultimately a confrontation between Randy and Seth that carries the weight of their legendary history together. The flexibility and star power they provide makes them invaluable to WWE's creative process. Braun Breaker's credibility has been significantly damaged by Randy's assault because his entire character is built around being an unstoppable young force, yet he was effortlessly neutralized by a veteran who made it look easy. The exposure of his limitations against elite competition creates challenges for rebuilding his intimidation factor. Bronson Reed's mystique as an immovable object has also suffered from being included in Randy's destruction, as his size advantage proved meaningless against someone with superior technique and strategic thinking. The booking challenges created by his decisive defeat may require months of careful rehabilitation to restore his credibility. Quick question for the comments: do you think Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes can defeat the Vision's entire faction, or will Seth Rollins' numbers advantage eventually overwhelm even these two legends? Let me know your predictions below. And here's another one: which Vision member should Randy target next for his legendary revenge, Seth Rollins directly, or should he continue dismantling the faction's enforcers first? Drop your strategic thoughts in the comments.